pretty lies. Look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.
I just don't understand, no, I'm too good to you. I'm way too good to you. You take my life away. I just don't understand.
What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. This is a Flexible Dieting Friday for you, and I've got my beautiful host here, Stace Kathleen Dawn Smythe.
Hi.
But we are here just to talk to you about meal prep in general. We utilize FlexPro meals for our meal prep delivery now, so we're not actually cooking as much, we're not eating out as much. All those things are kind of covered by them for about 70% of our meals. So we're just going to go into detail, kind of telling you about our meals, about how we track them, and the convenience of it and the purpose of a meal prep delivery service in general. I've got her here because she has just as much experience with the meals as I do, so it makes sense for her to give her 2 cents and let you know. All right, so let's get into it.
Where should we start?
Where should we start? So, meal prep in general. Let's talk about just dieting and just the aspect of being prepared. If you don't prepare your meals properly beforehand, it's so much easier to fall off track, fall off your diet, not actually stay consistent. And at a certain point, just like in my video about change, at a certain point you just stop trying to juggle all these things and you just drop the ball entirely and go and just, you quit, basically. That's generally the case. So if you are prepared and you are, say, spending every Sunday prepping your meals, packing them in the Tupperwares, putting them in the fridge ready for the week, you're gonna be so much more likely to actually stick to your plan and get it done properly.
Less stress.
Exactly.
Less anxiety.
Which is another reason I brought her into it, because basically the moment I got her to use the meal prep service was the turning point for her, where it became she became much more consistent, and I'll have her talk about that.
Before I used any sort of meal prep service, I was the queen of excuses. I don't have time to do this, so I'm just gonna run through this drive-through, run through that drive-through. And I work at a place where there's a lot of food literally right next to me, so it was very easy to just be like, it's okay, I won't like prep meals today, I'm just gonna go next door and get a friggin' chicken sandwich from The Habit, which is my favorite, but don't do that every day.
No, she was actually dieting during this point. She was
I was
macros,
tracking everything, but one, it was adding up so incredibly quickly. I think I was probably spending like $20 a day on food, which, do the math, that adds up really quick.
It definitely does.
But once I started doing this whole concept, there were no excuses. All I needed was a microwave. I needed to just remember to bring it with me, which was another thing. Just remembering to bring the food with you, but that was very easy.
That goes into your planning and prepping.
Yeah, you just be prepared.
That's pretty much all you have left, is packing it away,
and then,
making sure to remember
exactly.
and microwaving it.
And if you forget it at that point, then I'm not sure what the best route is for you. Once I figured all this out, I became way more structured, way more dedicated. Everything, I just took things so much more seriously because it was at my fingertips. There were no excuses anymore. And I need that. I know there's a lot of people who probably, they might not like this whole idea, but if you're like me, this changed everything for me, and I'm
Absolutely.
A huge advocate for pre-made meals, they're called?
Pre-made meals,
meal prepping yourself, you don't have to,
Just being prepared in general, making sure you don't let yourself fall behind, right? Another thing is just, you were tracking, you were dieting to the best of your abilities, but you were doing all that stuff with your ridiculous workload anyways.
Right.
And so what did you notice from the time you had that previous period of doing it and just doing your best, trying your best, and then once you got on the meals, how was your progress from that point forward?
Incredible. Because when you're tracking your macros and you're eating out, like you can only track so much. There's a lot of things that they put in the food that you're not tracking that you don't realize.
Yeah.
And so you might not be making as much progress as you thought, but that's because there's a lot of underlying things that you don't realize you're not taking into account. So with things like this, like they literally have the macros written out for you. You can trust them. And a lot
It's
of
at
times
least clean
it's
foods.
incredibly clean.
So there's no like hidden oils or things
Right.
underlying.
That's what I mean when I say like the
Yeah.
other places. Yeah. So I noticed crazy progress, and it was almost like my body was just thanking me for like sticking to a routine and feeding it what it needed.
And now I have been using meal prep delivery services for almost 4 years now. I was with another company for 3 years. They actually decided to shut down. And so now I've been with FlexPro since about, I think, December, around the Spokesmodel search time is when I signed on with them. And they've taken really good care of us. They have a bunch of different options. They have preset like menus where you can choose on a weekly basis. You can choose like the meals that you want out of your prepaid selection. So if you are on a subscription plan and you're allowed 10 meals, you just go through and choose the ones that you want for that week. And they also have a custom service where you can choose like the amount of meat, the type of meat, the carb source, and every meal comes with green vegetables. So very convenient, very helpful for flexible dieting in general. You guys have probably noticed that we haven't been going to different restaurants to film these flexible dieting Fridays as much lately because I have so many of these that I need to be eating them and getting them down. But I'm just catching up because when I go on my trips to the different expos, I don't always take them with me just because of the additional luggage. And so I leave them here and then I'm 4 days behind and there's 16 meals waiting for me that I need to catch up on. So these ones, they do flash freeze before sending them to you. They're not delivered fresh, which there's a huge myth in the world. People for some reason believe that freezing food destroys it, but it's like pressing a pause button on the nutrients. If you flash freeze, the nutrients in the food are actually substantially better maintained than if they just send them to you fresh, because fresh food it's like a ticking clock. It's like going backwards and draining the nutrients from it until it spoils and it's no longer good to eat anymore. So that's why I'm completely okay with and actually prefer flash frozen.
You just have to remember.
Which, by the way, the whole
No, you're fine.
The whole grocery industry is about to launch a campaign to make sure you guys are aware of that. So get ready for grocery stores to be pushing frozen food like no other. But yeah.
Yeah, so you just have to remember to, if you're gonna go this route and your meals are flash frozen, you just have to remember to put a meal from the freezer into the refrigerator about 24 hours beforehand. And the way he described it to me, because I was so confused in the beginning about the whole nutrient thing, is like they're frozen in the freezer, but as soon as you put them in the refrigerator, that's basically when their lifespan starts.
Yeah.
So
once it
starts thawing, that's when you have to remember, okay, how long have I had this meal in the refrigerator? Because if it's been a couple days, okay, it's probably not that good. So you just have to remember, keep track of which meals you have in the refrigerator and how long they've been in there, because I've definitely done that a few times where I forget and then worst case scenario, I just throw it away, but that's a waste of money and that makes me sad. So I try not to do that. If you have to, err on the side of caution and don't make yourself sick from spoiled meat.
Exactly.
Okay?
It's also just really nice because when I do go out of town for those trips, they're still frozen, so they're still safe. I don't have to worry about them spoiling while I'm gone or wasting money on these meals, because they do generally come out to like anywhere from $6 to $10 a piece. So if you're not actually eating them, then you're wasting a ton of money.
You can choose your portion size of meat. I think it's like 6 ounces.
You can go 4 ounce,
ounces.
6 ounce, or 8 ounce.
Like what he just said. When we order ours, we just order them like they're just all the same meal. So all of the meals are 8 ounces of meat. And I personally, he eats one whole meal as like just one meal. I cut mine in half. So that cuts my cost in half, because really when I break it down, yeah, I'm ordering 10 meals, but I'm really getting 20 out of those 10 meals. So I am being cost effective.
When you think about it, like the macros on this ground turkey with 8 ounces and half a cup of couscous, it's 51.5 grams of protein, 18.5 grams of carbs, 4.25 grams of fat, and 493.5 total calories. So if you have her eating 51.5 grams of protein in one sitting, that's very hefty.
So you can do, I literally will probably eat 1.5 of these a day. So you could totally do that. Don't feel like you have to order the 4-ounce meals just because that's all you can eat. Order the 8-ounce, get more for your money and cut them in half.
It's way cheaper that way.
Way cheaper that way.
Now their set menu does have ridiculously delicious options, which are dangerous for me because they're the higher macro ones, but they have like fried chicken and waffles, they have mini pancakes and chicken, they have French toast sticks and turkey sausage.
Those ones.
They have they have these beautiful, beautiful babies.
Oh yes. Protein
which
balls.
are protein balls. That's literally what they're called. Just protein balls. That's all you get. But they're 5 different flavors. Every one of them's a different flavor, and
They're
just change them up every
ridiculously
week.
good. Well, careful.
So good. But they're based off of peanut butter. It's mostly peanut butter, and the macros are decent. So it's a nice little like craving curbing treat at the end of the night.
If you want to track these,
Yes.
you can use we personally use MyFitnessPal, and you can actually customize your own meals. So I don't know the exact tab that you go to, but I think you go to
Create
My
food.
Foods and then like create food or something like that. And it'll have you type the name in. So you would just do ground turkey and couscous or
Yeah.
whatever, and
You
then
would
you would
enter this
literally
exact
enter in the
information.
macros. And then that way it will stay all in your MyFood. So you have all of these meals already ready and at your fingertips on your MyFitnessPal. So you can just go through and say, oh, I can't have this one, but I can have this one. And blah, blah, blah.
Like, oh, I want ground beef 8-ounce with rice today. And all of the regular menu items are already on MyFitnessPal. So FlexPro already has.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They get all of their like staple meals on there, and then the custom ones are the only ones we have to track.
Perfect.
So, boom.
Yep, I'm a
That's pretty
big
much it.
fan.
Big fan.
So I highly recommend you jump on board. And
And she's
And-
excited. What?
he has a discount code for FlexPro meals.
Oh, I do.
I think
What
it's
is that?
just Kyler.
It is. It's just my
Or
name.
oh,
Go ahead and use code Kyler for 20% off of your first order.
yes.
Do it.
If you have any questions about his meals and what he does, or if you have any questions, females out there, if you have any questions for me regarding how I do this, if
Love that.
I didn't touch on anything, just leave them down below and I will like peek on his comments and answer them
There you go.
if you leave them.
Heck yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to make sure we covered this topic at some point. I've been planning on doing it for like probably 4 weeks or so, and finally we did it. So I wanted you guys to know about meal prep delivery services so that we can get you guys as prepared and ready to diet as possible.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for notifications so that you're aware when new videos come out. It is getting a little tough. YouTube does kind of they're making it a little bit harder for us to spread our videos, so the more help from you guys with thumbs up, notification, subscriptions, all that stuff really helps. Also, if you ever really love a video of ours, feel free to share it. Like, that helps us more than anything.
Yeah.
Go ahead and comment below with any comments, suggestions, requests, anything like that. Hopefully you guys are enjoying all this stuff, and that's all we got for you. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.
I just don't understand. You know I'm too good to you. I'm way too good to you. You take my life away. I just don't understand.